The Bengals guard competition is settled, at least for week one. The latest on the unsurprising news if you watch us or listen to us regularly, plus more news and notes ahead of, well, week one. Football is here. Let's break it all down right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, join the 58,000 plus Bengals fans that have already hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And today's video, well, it's brought to you by Sleeper. Make sure you check out our presenting sponsor, Sleeper, where right now you got to get in on all the daily fantasy fun. You might have already be dealing with some injuries or some question marks. You don't have to deal with that with Sleeper. And if you play daily fantasy with Sleeper, you're going to get up to 1,000 times your money with Sleeper. All you have to do is use promo code BengalsTalk. That's right, BengalsTalk, and you'll get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. And let's dive into the news of the day. You're going to hear from Zac Taylor coming up in just a minute, but not surprising. Bengals name Lucas Patrick the starter. He's going to start at right guard, so now we know the Bengals' starting offensive line. It is set ahead of Sunday's matchup against the Cleveland Browns. From left to right, it's Orlando Brown Jr., it's rookie Dylan Fairchild, it's Ted Karras at center, it is Lucas Patrick at right guard, and it is Amarius Mims at right tackle. No surprise. No surprise. They signed Dalton Risner 6 days ago today, and we're going to hear what Zac Taylor had to say about Risner and Mike Pennel, the two newest additions in the building. Pennel on the practice squad, but a veteran who's certainly two-time Super Bowl champ, who certainly could be in the mix on Sunday, and what Risner it could mean as well. But let's talk about Lucas Patrick for a second, because I think a lot of people saw the lowlights, and there were a few lowlights, whether it was out at camp or in the preseason games, and those low points weren't the only thing that you should be paying attention to, or the only thing that tells the Lucas Patrick story. He's been pretty solid. He's been all right. And I totally get why the Bengals wouldn't say, all right, we're going to plug this guy in that hasn't even been here a week. We're into the starting lineup. That doesn't mean Dalton Risner won't start next week. Doesn't mean he won't start week 3. Doesn't mean he won't start week 4, week 5. Like, it's totally could. But for this week, Lucas Patrick's taken first-team right guard reps for well over a month. Was here for training camp, got a ton of work in. I think it makes sense. Will I be saying that at halftime on Sunday? We'll see. Here's what Zac Taylor had to say about Lucas Patrick being named starting right guard.
Obviously, the depth chart came out yesterday when Lucas was listed as the right guard. Is that the plan?
Yes, that is. Yes.
What has he shown you in camp to make you feel good about having him at right guard?
I like his experience. I like how he's interacted with the other linemen. I've got a lot of confidence in him. He's shown me what I needed to see, so I'm excited for him.
Did you have a conversation with Lucas, or has this been something that you guys?
No, I think Lucas could see this thing coming. So again, I don't like to get into the depth chart. I don't even look at the depth chart. It is, to me, this thing is always fluid up until the game. That doesn't mean we're making a change there, but I've always been reluctant to ever say anything like this, because I know how things can change at any position. You say it at one position, then you don't say it at another position. What does that say? So I'm always very careful with that.
The move makes sense to me. It also makes sense if Dalton Risner is going to be active on Sunday, if you have a quality backup plan in place if things do go awry. And the other thing that concerns me is just the dings that Lucas has dealt with. He's gotten dinged up a few different times with little things, left that second preseason game early in Washington, was replaced by Jalen Rivers. Some thought it wasn't because of injury. It was because of injury. So keep an eye on his health. But if he stays healthy, I totally get why they're rolling with him and they're starting with him on Sunday. Is Dalton Risner going to be active? What about Mike Pennel, who they signed this week? Is he going to be part of the defensive tackle room and active on game day? Let's discuss that. We'll hear from Zac Taylor coming up next. Today's video is brought to you by Brunt Workwear, and my Brunt work boots are awesome. They've quickly become a staple of my daily routine, and anything I'm doing, whether I'm doing something in the yard, maybe I have to do some work in the basement, well, guess what? Brunt Workwear is there for you. I have the waterproof Sullivan boots, and whether you need steel toe, whether you don't, Brunt Workwear has something for everyone. And the thing I love about my work boots, it's not just the fact that they're going to protect me, that they're waterproof, that they're durable. They're comfortable. it doesn't feel like I'm wearing work boots. It feels like, well, that I'm ready to go run a race, that I'm ready to go kick Andrew Fox Miller in a sprint, which we all know I would be able to do. And so whether you're talking trash about sprinting, whether you have the heaviest jobs, whether you are just looking to do some odds and ends around the house, Brunt work boots are perfect for you. Check them out today with the link in the description. And right now, use Bengals Talk 10. You're going to get $10 off your order. All you have to do is use that promo code. Again, check the link in the description, click it, and go to bruntworkwear.com with promo code Bengals Talk 10. Get your work boots today. All right, let's get to the Bengals' two newest additions. Dalton Risner signed with the team last Thursday. Mike Pennel signed on Monday. Pennel, a two-time Super Bowl champ, 34 years old at nose tackle. Risner, a lot of you know about him for sure, is someone that I think at some point this year will start at right guard, will be active, but will he be active on Sunday? Zac Taylor didn't necessarily say that, but I think he tipped his hand a little bit. Here's what Zac had to say about both Risner and Pennel.
Both of them just getting acclimated to how we're doing things. Mike, for example, has been practicing. He's been in training camp. And so I think from that standpoint, he's ready to roll. Dalton has come in and presented very well. Now it's just integrating him into our schemes and getting him up to speed. And he's put every bit of time and effort he can into it to get up on the verbiage. It all makes sense to him. So I'd feel very comfortable if he had to go in there that he could help us.
I think it makes sense to do exactly what they're doing. Add proven vets, veterans that are hungry. A guy like Pennel, I would have him active Sunday. And it's only Wednesday, and this is only a second practice. So why would I have him active Sunday? The Browns want to run the ball. It's the AFC North. You got a proven, nasty nose tackle that you can use and have him alongside TJ Slayton if and when needed, backing up TJ Slayton if and when needed. Makes a ton of sense to me. I think it makes a ton of sense. I think he adds to your physicality. I think he's someone that is going to help in that room. You signed him for a reason. I would expect Mike Pennel to be active. I expect Dalton Risner to be active as well. I do. Zac Taylor was asked multiple times in different ways. You heard most of it there. I think that was the best response, but I think it makes sense. And that is why I think he is so confident with rolling out the offensive line the way he is if you have a guy like Risner, someone who over the past 2 years hasn't given up a sack according to Pro Football Focus in 25 regular season games, has catching on and does not just look the part, but is understanding the scheme and what to do and all of those things. Well, that's great. But the bottom line is he's been here for 6 days as of today. And that includes a three-day off period for every player not named Dalton Risner, right? So this is him trying to hit the ground running so he can be ready to go and know what to do if he needs to get in. But there's no reason to think that he wouldn't be able to go in if needed. Clearly, Zac Taylor's confident in that. And so what does that mean? I think we're going to see him active on Sunday against the Browns. Wouldn't shock me if both guys are active. Now, Pennel is on the practice squad, so he would have to be elevated on Saturday. Again, could totally happen, and I think things are pointing in that direction. I would do that for sure if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, because he gives you something that the McKinley Jacksons don't give you, that Howard Cross doesn't give you. And so maybe you make Jackson inactive, Cross inactive, and go with a guy like Mike Pennel. We're going to have you covered all week long, obviously all season long. If you missed Enter the Jungle on Tuesday night, check it out. These reports, they're going to be coming regularly. We're really excited to have some new sponsors, and we're really excited for you to watch us, to listen, because we're going to bring you the latest Bengals news, and we're ramping up. Week 1 is here. I'm excited, and hopefully you are too. Until next time, for Andrew Fox Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for listening and watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk.